Sister Norma Gallant has been traveling the island this winter, raising awareness about the issue of ageism. Sister Norma is the coordinator of the Evangeline Community Consultative Group. The group received funding from the P.E.I. Senior Secretariat to raise awareness about age discrimination. Sister Norma produced a pamphlet that was distributed in French and English across Prince Edward Island, and she made presentations to a dozen community groups, including the Wellington Boys and Girls Club. Now, in just a few moments, we'll hear from 10-year-old Rihanna Ryan, who was at one of the presentations. But first, here is Sister Norma Gallant talking about the project with Island Morning's Nancy Russell.
In my work as crime prevention coordinator, I meet so many people who say to me, the youth are like this, the youth are like that. Or they'll say, oh, those old people, they're like this, they're like that. So I figured, there has to be something we could do to make people aware that even if I don't say it, that it might be in my mind.
In what way are young people discriminated against?
You know how oftentimes we'll say, you'll hear or you'll say yourself, or myself, all those young people, all they do is play on their electronic machines, and all they do is text, or they don't want to work, or they don't do anything for the community. And these are not true, but this is how we kind of envision them. It's discrimination.
How did you go about starting a discussion about ageism?
We did especially kitchen meetings, kitchen groups, because right now, in various regions of the island where I am called to go to work, I find that if you specify a certain area, we're going to have a meeting at that time, at a certain spot, oftentimes people don't want to get out to go there. So instead of making them change place, I went and got some people here and there to gather 4 or 5 people in their house, and we'd have a chat around the table.
How many people do you think you talked to through this project?
I've got it right here. 56 persons participated. That's adults, not counting last night with the Boys and Girls Club.
What did people take away at the end of the evening after these kitchen meetings?
The biggest thing that I got as feedback was, Norma, I never thought of it this way. I never thought that I was discriminating against someone if I just said, oh, look at that, car is going so slowly, it must be an old lady driving. She should leave the road to the younger people. You know, like things like that they brought. Same thing as, for example, another thing would be, seniors, they should stay home and spend their pension rather than taking our jobs as young people.
You spoke to a group of young people from the Wellington Boys and Girls Club. Mm-hmm. What was that experience like?
That was an awesome experience. You can't just, I figure, start with the word ageism. It's a little bit heavy for them, or discrimination. So I've been there before. We worked a lot on bullying cases with them. So I started with talking about respect, them giving examples of what non-respect looks like and what respect looks like, how you feel when you're not respected and how you feel when you're respected, no matter what age. Then we went on, and one of the kids said, yes, but a lot of people don't respect older people. It gave me the opportunity to go to, well, what does an older person look like? So they gave examples of, say, at Superstore, one little fella says, I see this older lady. She has trouble walking. Her legs are not very strong. So she takes a cart. She goes around. I said, yes. And he said, now I'm thinking that when I see her next time, I may offer to help.
My name's Rihanna Ryan. I'm 10 years old. I go to Evangeline, and I go to the Wellington Boys and Girls Club.
So tell me about the presentation that Sister Norma came to do with your club. What was she talking about?
Bullying, and how you should step up if you see somebody be bullied, and if you're being bullied, just walk away.
What do young people think when they think about somebody who's a senior?
They think that they like seeing younger people because it reminds them of when they were young, and they like spending time with children.
Are there sometimes things that young people think about seniors that aren't true?
Yeah, like sometimes they think they don't have friends, but they have all the friends. Like if they're at a Shenu, they have all the friends in there.
In a Shenu? Yeah. So like a senior's home?
Yeah.
And what about you? Do you help seniors ever?
At my school, we always go and we do a show for them, and we spend time with them.
Do you think that they understand ageism now?
I did not use the word at all, but they understand what it's all about without having said it. And at the same time, they wore their pink shirts, and one little fella says, "Oh, maybe some of this non-respect is quite the same as when we talk about bullying cases." They make the connection, which I didn't expect they would, but they did. And big hugs after, and it was really cute.
What happens now? How do you bring about change related to this issue?
Apart from having these groups, these sessions, we have created an information bulletin, and the information bulletin was sent by mail to the Wellington and Richmond regions through the post office, and it's about ageism. It's let's talk about it, but not only talk about it, act on it. So all these people got that, and apart from that, I sent packages of these to different areas of the island in the Centre Scolaire Communautaire centres, Souris, Charlottetown, Rusticoat, the Tignish area, and Summerside.
So how many of these bulletins would have gone out?
1,500.
What happens next with this project?
Right now, all the activities are done. What I need to do is do the full report, and this will be ongoing. I'm sure since we started this, I must have had a dozen at least, if not 15 phone calls. "Norma, what's all this about? What is this ageism people are talking about? What is it that we got in the mail? I never heard of that word before." A lot of the ones, just like I was before I started this, never thought that we were doing what they call ageism. So I learned a whole lot from it, and I'm not going to keep quiet about it anymore, because it concerns the both ends of the spectrum of ages.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sister Norma Gallant, the coordinator of the Evangeline Community Consultative Group. Rihanna Ryan attends the Wellington Boys and Girls Club. They were both speaking with Island Morning's Nancy Russell.